What's up everyone, and welcome back to our tutorial series on creating a forum with PHP. In the last episode, we learned about the basics of MySQL and how to create databases, users, and tables, and how to navigate PHPMyAdmin. So, in this episode, we are going to be learning about SQL Queries. So, go ahead and go into PHPMyAdmin, and then navigate to your forum and your users table, and that should just come up with here. And now, I've added a ton of data. Since the last episode, I added like 26 rows of melee characters, and this took me a little while. If you guys want this table, I can give it to you, or you can, find one online of just dummy, like if you just search for a MySQL query, practice table, I'm sure you can find something to put in your PHPMyAdmin. But, yeah, this is sort of, I just made some data so we could play with it. So, if you look in this browse tab, you can see that we have select asterisk from users. Mine just says order by because I was doing some stuff, but that is just sort of the very, very basic, most basic query ever. And what it does is it just shows every row of the table that we have. And now we're going to learn about writing our own queries. So hop onto the SQL tab, and I just want you all to type in by yourselves, type in select asterisk from users. Not capital. Select asterisk from users. And now just go ahead and click go. And you will get all 26 rows. And it says 25 rows. But keep in mind, we're working, with a computer. So, well, it says, 25 total. It says there are 26 rows, but we're working with a computer. And a computer always starts counting at 0. So if you put 50 rows into your database, or your table, there are only 49. It's only going to show up as 49. And number 1 is going to be 0, number 2 is going to be number 1. You guys get it. So I'm going to explain this query now. So what a query is it's sort of like a command that you send to the server to get data and to do a few different things with it. The things you can do with data are you can create it, you can edit it, you can delete it, and you can view it. So with a few different kinds of commands, you can do more stuff, but that's sort of the basic things you can do with data. So let's just go ahead and get into writing the query. So I told you all to write select asterisk from users, but what does that mean? Well, select is a MySQL keyword that basically tells our server it needs to select all the data that it can find, and just basically output it. So let me just go ahead and write this in. If I go into Notepad, I'm just going to write out some of the syntax for MySQL in all caps. So keywords are like select, delete, insert, and then you want to probably should have wrote this out before. And now columns, rows, and things are going to be in these grave marks. And to make a grave mark, this is not an apostrophe. That's an apostrophe. To make a grave mark, hold shift on your, actually don't even hold shift. Go, look, the grave key is under escape to the left of 1 and above tab. So if you push that, you get these little sort of back, like, upside down apostrophe, kind of like comma in the air things. So, a comma to the top is what they used to call it back in school. So there you go. But that's an accent mark, but in MySQL, you use it for quoting, like, columns and basically parts of your table. And then this one is, of course, quotation marks. Data goes in quotes. So yeah, just get used to sort of kind of memorize this. It's only 3 different things, but just get used to I guess doing that, and soon you'll be really good at something like this. So so we say select, and now asterisk we learned about in PHP, and you're probably thinking, okay, so asterisk is an arithmetic operator, so we're going to use it to multiply things, so we're multiplying select and from, but no. In MySQL, asterisk basically means everything. So select everything. in some programming language, it's like a wildcard or, you know, something like that. But in this case, it's select everything from, and then users, which, and then users is, of course, our table that we have. So we want to select everything from this users table and just spit it out on the screen. So if we do this, and we just go, and of course it'll run. So that is sort of the most basic query anyone could possibly run on a table. And let's get in, not inspect element. Let's get into something, I guess, a little more interesting. So when you go to this page, just the browse tab, you'll notice, I think it'll do it. It usually, whatever. Yeah, so we'll get select asterisk. Okay, never mind. It doesn't do it this time because I have the order by set. I don't know how to turn that off, but whatever. Maybe if I just click this and then click it again. No, I don't know. Okay, so you guys will probably see this. Select asterisk from users where 1. And now where is kind of like an if statement in PHP. So you may think of, so I guess an easy way to think of it is something like this. If condition select asterisk from users. So, but in MySQL we use the where keyword for a condition. So instead of actually writing out an if statement or something like that, we're going to use that where. So we're going to say where 1, and now you guys probably remember 1 just always means true in computing languages. So that's just going to select, so it says, you know, select everything from users where 1, and of course you can probably put in 0 here, you know, 1 is true, 0 is false. This should probably run, I don't know, go, yep, you get nothing. So that's how the sort of 1 thing works. That's why you always have 1. Now you don't even have to put that where 1 as we learned. There's pretty much no difference between this query and the one without where 1, but we're going to actually use this where. So we're in our table, we have a column called age, and let's say, I don't know, I'm starting up a new website that's going to be like nintendofanfic.com, so just get ready. What if we only want users who are the age of 13, because we want to start our new ships, and of course we want 2 characters that are 13. To do that, you say select asterisk from users where age, age equals 13. And you don't use double equals. You may be thinking, well, age equals 13, so that's an assignment operator in MySQL. Well, no, you don't use assignment or condition operators in MySQL. It literally is just it's just an equal sign. So that's how you do that's pretty much just how you do it. So you can run this, and boom, go. Okay, there we go, and it'll return 2 of our characters that are both the age of 13. So what it does is it says, so just select everything from our users table where the column, the row's age is 13. And, well, Ness's age is 13 and Jigglypuff's age is 13. I don't know how old Jigglypuff is, but yeah, it just throws these in here, and it seems to work just fine. So that's how that works for the most part, is the where. But what if we want characters who are over or equal to 18? Well, we can say select asterisk from users where age is greater than or equal to 18. And if we run this query, we should get all our characters. There we go. And it returns 13 rows, which is really 14, because, you know, I guess, you know, the computer counting thing. So yeah, and as you can see, all these characters are either 18 or over 18, like we have here. So that's pretty cool, the way it works here. So what if we want characters that are younger? What if we want characters that are younger than 13? We could say select asterisk from users where age, and you don't have to put these graves, but it's important that you do. So whenever you have a column name like an age or user, and whenever you have a table or anything like that, you want to use these. So I went over that. I just figured I'd reiterate. So select asterisk from users where age is greater than or equal to no, sorry, less than, we're just going to say less than 13. We want all the characters that are younger than 13. So if we push go, we can see that we have Kirby, we have Young Link, and we have Pichu. So yeah, that's how you run these kinds of queries. So that's cool. Of course, you can we could give it a range. We can do all kinds of things that but we're not going to get into all that. So that's how you do the select query. Now, what if we want to add some new data to the database? Well, I know what you're thinking. We just go to the Insert tab and we tell it how many rows we want and all that. Well, we can't just do something like that in an actual website, because we can't expect like the next user to just go ahead and log on to our database and add their data. That they need to do it through a website, and we need to figure out the kind of query that they're going to use to do it with PHP. So let's learn about the insert query. Now, if you go down here and you push any of these buttons down here and you look up here, it automatically will generate your query for you. And you can put in here all the data and just kind of fill it out. But we're going to need to learn how to create queries by ourselves. We can't just expect the thing to run it for us. So yeah, let's just go ahead and learn about how to create our query to insert things. So to do it, it's just insert into, what do we call it? Users. And now we have to tell it what columns we're going to use, because we have to use some columns. Like we have to tell it that we're going to use a name, an age, an email, and a password. So to do that, you put your grave, and then this is name or username. So grave username, and this isn't our data. This is just what we're putting in here. These are the columns that we're going to use. Email, password, age, graves. And then now we need the values that we're going to put into this. So insert into users, username, email, password, age, values. Now the values are the actual data that's going to go into our table. So this is the columns that we're going to use, and we have to put the values in the exact order we did the columns. So we did username first. So inside of here, we need to do these all in quotes except for age. So in quotes, not graves. Big difference. So in quotes, you need to put in username. Who should we add? What's a Nintendo character we could add? Toad. Let's do Toad. Toad. And then we'll give Toad an email. So Toad, quotes. Toad at Nintendo.com. And then we'll run a password for Toad. I don't know, what's Toad's password? Toadette 4321. And then Toad needs an age. Let's see if there's an age for Toad. Well, I don't know. We could look at the wiki, but ain't nobody got time for that. So, let's see. We'll just put in, I don't know, let's say he is 13, or we'll say he's 14. Yeah, why not? And we'll just click go. So, before I click go, I'll just show you the query. So, we want to insert into our users table. We want to give it a username, an email, password, and age. And the values for that are going to be Toad, Toad at Nintendo.com, Toadette 4321, and 14. And if we hit this query, it should just go. Oh, and I think I mentioned this. These have to match up exactly to these. So the username is Toad, and the email is, they have to match up exactly. If they don't, the website will get confused, or you'll enter your data wrong, and you'll have some issues. And if we click go, one new inserted. Awesome. Inserted row ID 29. query took that amount of time. So a fifth of like 5/10 thousandths of a second. It's pretty fast. So yeah. So if we head into our SQL tab again, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, if we go to our browse, I won't just jump into a new one already. As you can see, we have Toad here, and we have his password, his his email and his age. And now, I've talked about this before, but this is an awful way to store passwords, because anybody can see them, and it's just terrible to do this way. We're not going to be doing this for much longer. When we get into the actual coding of the forum, we'll fix that, but yeah. So now, let's learn about fixing stuff or updating our queries. So if the user ever updates their profile, they can change it. And the example I have for you guys is, if we go, I think his ID, yep, Fox McCloud. If we look at his age, well, Fox McCloud is 87, and I don't think it works that way, because Falco's 18. Well, Fox is actually 17. I mean, his dad may have been like 87 when he got wrecked, but I really don't know. But we need to fix Fox's age, so that way he is, he's 17, and because he's not 87, and I think Falco's age is still 18. So yeah, let's just get into that. So the first thing we need to do is run update. So if we call update is our MySQL command to update some data, and then we need to give it the table. So update users, and then we need to say set, and then we say age equal to 17, and now we need to give it a condition. So if we ran this, I think pretty much everyone would be turned to age 17, and we don't want that. We want to make sure it's Fox that's age is going to get updated. And now Fox's ID is 12. So we want to say update users set age equal to 17 where ID equals 17. 17. And if we just click go, it should, 0 rows affected. Oops, what did I do to mess that up? Oh no, where ID equals, that should be 12. How did I screw that up? Hold on. I'll copy this. Okay, edit. So let's just change this to 12, and yeah, let's see what's wrong with this. So if we just push go, it should work this time. Go. 1 row affected. There we go. Query took 100,000th of a second, or 10,000th of a second longer than it does to insert data. So if we go down here, we should be able to find, yeah, there is Fox McCloud. Did we fix his name? Let's see. Yep, we fixed his name, which is pretty cool. So that is basically how you do that. How you can update things. If you want to update multiple things at a time, we could say list. That's too confusing. Update users. Set. And then what if we want to update multiple columns? Well, we could say set age equal to 25 where ID, we'll say age equal 25, email equal Graves. We could say email equal banana. Quotes, that's important. I'm just forgetting all my punctuation. Bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A, Foxy, bananas Foxy, at poop.toop. And if we say where ID equal 13, actually, we'll do 15. I don't know. I know what 13 is, so I just want to be surprised. We just push go. It should. Yeah, there we go. 1 row affected, and whoever was ID 15, it should have, there we go, Kirby, yep, there we go, banana Foxies. Okay, so we updated multiple rows with that query. So now we're just going to do one more query, and then I'm going to end off the video, and you guys can pat yourself on the back, because you just learned pretty much everything you'll need to know in terms of MySQL, at least for the basics. So yeah. So what if we need to delete a user? we created a user which was Toad. So what if we want to delete a user? Well, we're going to delete Toad from the database because we just found out, well, Toad's not in Melee. That would be absolutely absurd. We need to say delete. That's the keyword to delete, obviously. Delete from users where, capitals, where ID equals 29, because that's Toad's ID. So if we ran that, it would delete Toad. Now, another way we could do this, we could say username equals Toad. You could say a certain age, and it would delete everyone with a certain age. So that's pretty much how you do something like that. And if we just push go, what's wrong with here? Unknown column Toad. Oh wait, what? Oh, forgot the quotes. Of course, rookie mistake. So there we go. If we just go and run that, we can see one row affected. And if we go into our browsing, if we browse the database, there is no more Toad, which is pretty cool. Rip Toad. So I hope you guys have not hated this tutorial. If you have, go ahead and slap a big fat dislike on it and tell me what I'm doing wrong in the comment section below. If you've absolutely loved it and you want to see more, slap a like on the video, subscribe for more content. Follow me on Twitter in the link in the description. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!